450 BC, Pythagoras, who was in his mid-50s, was a full master of wisdom. He was now an embodiment himself of ancient deep wisdom coming from the stars, and he was ready to start speaking and transmitting this ancient wisdom to the world. That is how he selected a quite isolated place in Magna, Greece. He came to Croton, where there was a deep legacy of Heracles, in this distant place that he found that had an adequate balance of isolation to start something anew, but also of deep roots into the tradition of Heracles and the open mind to put the seed of his wisdom. And people here were not in central Greece, so they were not in the hegemonic power of this group of rich families that were holding the hierarchical institution of Greece. And at the same time, they were a colony of people that were instructed and were looking for deeper knowledge. So the story says that he reached this region by water, and that he touched land in Sibaria, and from there he walked all the way to Croton, where he found a small community, but sophisticated enough to be able to understand the teachings he wanted to share. And at the beginning, when he arrived, people were a little bit suspicious about him, but slowly, given his teachings, sharing his knowledge, helping the community, he gained the trust of some prominent people in this colony. And he started to be surrounded by politicians and medicine people from the colony that came to his feet to learn his wisdom. And he started to be frequented by a different circle of people looking for his knowledge. He sustained that the base of his wisdom was triangular. As you know, Pythagoras is well known for working with triangles, but we will look into this in another video. And he thought that the three pillars of wisdom were mathematics, mostly geometry and arithmetics, astronomy, the understanding of the bodies moving in the sky, and music. So these were the three main sciences that you have to prove that you knew and understood to gain entrance to his school. And of course, it was a whole enterprise to create his school. He initially surrounded himself by a group of disciples and started a colony, and started through magnetism to irradiate this wisdom mouth to mouth through sailing people from merchants. The news spread around that there was a huge master that was teaching, living, creating a community in Magna Graecia, in this area of Croton. So this first initial inner circle of disciples had the number of 440, and Pythagoras worked very well with numbers and arithmetics, and he understood the power of numbers to bring into expression structures from the abstract inner layers to this reality. So he gathered a group of 440 disciples that were his core group and taught them, started to transmit all these teachings that he had gained through many initiations and through contact with humanly teachers, but also with teachers and masters from other adobes and other levels of consciousness. This is how he created this first colony, this first group of people living together. And the story tells us that slowly and through magnetism, this initial group constructed the pillars and the base from what was called later the Pythagorean school of Croton, where many people from all over the Greek world and other Asian cultures came to study and learn with him. The story tells us that when he was around 60 years of age, he married a local woman from the Greek colony of Croton, who was also his disciple, and with her, who was a very inspiring and high conscious soul, they had together 7 children, and she helped her to put into form the teachings, to spread the teachings, and was the one that assisted in building the school and supporting it once Pythagoras was not more here in this physical plane. So this is a story of how this first group of common people that started an inner path of enlightenment, of initiations, that put themselves through all the steps of becoming a perfected human being, form the first core of what we know today as the Pythagorean school, Pythagorean societies that continue to work at different levels up to the present times. Thank you for being there, for sharing this knowledge on the initiation of the school that took place in this wonderful region of Croton. We will, in the next video, look into the philosophic principles of the Pythagorean school. See you next time.